Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So today it's our second lesson of chapter number 1, gaseous exchange. In our previous lesson we have already discussed about the air passages with respect to the respiratory systems of human. So in this lesson we will discuss about lungs, process of breathing, respiratory disorder and gaseous exchange in plants. So let's start our lesson. Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. So students, we all know that human respiratory system consists of two parts, air passage and a pair of lungs. So here in the right of the slide you can see that a diagram depicts human respiratory system, air passage and a pair of lungs. Each lung is soft, spongy and pinkish in appearance. It is wrapped in two pleural membranes. Pleural membrane, it is also shown in yellow color. You can see that a yellow colored line basically shows the pleural fluid which act as a lubricant, and this pleural fluid is basically enclosed in between two membranes which are called pleural membrane. Okay, so the space between the pleural membrane is filled with fluid that acts like a lubricant. Lungs are enclosed in a bony cage made up of a flat sternum in front, 12 pairs of ribs from front to back. Where vertebral column is present, ribs are attached with intercostal muscle. In a second diagram, you can see that the ribs are shown in blue color, whereas the costal cartilage, basically the intercostal muscles are in yellow, numbering from 1 to 12, and the sternum in green. In the lower part of the thorax lies a sheet of muscles called diaphragm. In a first diagram you can see that a dome-like structure which serves as a surface area for the sitting of lungs. Diaphragm separates it from abdominal cavity. Each lung is made up of millions of alveoli. Okay, so now the process of breathing. Since the respiratory surfaces are located deep inside the body in the lungs, so in order to perform exchange of gases, the air must first be brought into the lungs from the atmosphere. It is achieved through the process of breathing or ventilation. The second name for breathing is ventilation. The process of breathing consists of two phases, the inspiration and the expiration. The fact about the lung capacity is that our lungs can accumulate 5 liters of air. Means the capacity of lung is about 5 liter, but we use normally about half liter of the air coming into the lungs. Okay, now so the inspiration and the expiration. These diagrams clearly depict the two processes. So the first we will discuss about the inspiration. In inspiration, the word, actually this word is self, basically the inspiration, the air moves inside the lungs. It involves the contraction of intercostal muscles and the diaphragm. Volume of thorax, chest is increased, thereby decreasing the pressure of air in lungs. You can see in the diagram showing the breathing in process, the arrows which are coming out from the lungs basically depicts the increase of thorax. The volume of thorax increases and decreases the pressure of air in lungs. So the external air rushes inside from high pressure to low pressure. Actually this phenomena is basically as because the environment, in our environment air pressure is high, in our lungs air pressure is low, so air directly moves from high pressure to low pressure area, so that this contraction of intercostal muscles increases thorax and decreases the pressure of air. So the lungs get expanded in this way. In this way, your lungs become like balloon and all the air gets inside the lung after you breathe in. The breathe out process, it opposite to the breathe in. The air moves outside the lungs as it is expiration. It involves the relaxation, whereas in inspiration it is the contraction. So in expiration it involves the relaxation of intercostal muscles and diaphragm. You can see in the diagram. So in this case, when your intercostal muscles relax, your volume of thorax decreases, thereby increasing the pressure of air in lungs, so that air now definitely move from high to low pressure. So in lungs the pressure is high, so the air moves from lungs to the outside. The internal air rushes outside from high pressure to low pressure. The lungs get contracted in this way. Composition of inspired air and expired air. This chart shows the composition of oxygen, the percentage of oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water, vapor in your inspired and expired air, and also it shows the temperature. So the air you inspired contains about 21% oxygen, 0.03% carbon dioxide, 79% nitrogen, and variable amount of water vapor. And the temperature of that inspired air is at atmospheric temperature, but the expired air you breathe out about contains 16% oxygen, 4% carbon dioxide, 79% nitrogen. There is no increase or decrease in nitrogen, and the air was very saturated with 37 degrees Celsius. So one question arises here: how these respiratory surface perform these efficient function? Because they have the four properties: they are thin, they are wet, they are permeable, and they are large in relation to the volume of body. So what are the respiratory surfaces? The respiratory surfaces are alveoli. The total surface area of the respiratory surface in human is about 20 times to the size of the body, so that these alveoli perform their efficient work of exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide. Rate of breathing at rest and during exercise. So basically it tells that what will be your rate of breathing at rest and what will be at the exercise. We all know that breathing is an involuntary process, and that is mainly controlled by your brain, a region of your brain which is called hypothalamus. So the rate of breathing changes automatically according to the need. In normal condition, when you exercise for 10 to 20 minutes and after that your body becomes at rest, so the rate of breathing normalizes. But when the exercise condition persists for long hours, the muscle cells will start break down glucose without oxygen. So it is termed as the anaerobic respiration. As a result of this, lactic acid is formed in the muscle. The lag which is showing in the diagram is basically depicts the deposition of lactic acid, which causes pain and cramps in normal muscles when you exercise for long hours. So the breaking down of lactic acid requires additional amount of oxygen, which is termed as oxygen depth. So the extra amount of oxygen is obtained through deep breaths. You can also massage your leg, stretch your leg, and cool the skin with a cold moist cloth so that cramps will gone. So the last topic from the human respiratory system is respiratory disorder. These disorders are bronchitis, emphysema, pneumonia, lung cancer. So the bronchitis, the name shows that this disorder is from bronchioles. Bronchitis from bronchioles. Itis. Whenever the word itis is attached to any word, means there is an inflammation. So the inflammation of the air passageway is termed as bronchitis. It is caused either by smoking or by some bacteria. It is characterized by cough, increased mucus secretion, shortness of breath, and lower fever. In a diagram, you can see that a healthy bronchitis and an inflamed bronchitis. This yellow portion shows that mucus is filled in the bronchitis. Emphysema. It is related to the progressive destruction to the alveoli due to long-term exposure, usually to the industrial pollutant. It is characterized by laborious breathing. It causes cough with phlegm production. Emphysema basically characterized by the destruction of alveoli. In the diagram, you can see that this destruction is basically the enlargement of your alveoli. Your alveoli loses its normal elasticity and become more and more in the number, like it becomes more balloon like, swells it up and causes emphysema. This is because of the continuous exposure to some chemical, like it written here that the industrial pollutant means the labor which are working in the industries may become the target of the emphysema. Pneumonia. It is an infectious disease. Pneumonia is basically a bacterial or a viral disorder which affects your alveoli or your lungs very extremely. So it is an infectious disease usually caused by special bacteria, viruses, or fungi. In pneumonia, the alveoli are infected, so they may be filled with fluid or pus. The breathing becomes difficult because alveoli loses its normal function because of the accumulation of pus and fluid. The patient suffers from fever, cough, chill, and chest pain. Asthma, also a respiratory disorder. It is an inflammatory condition of airways of lungs. It is characterized by shortness of breath, chest pain, fever, wheezing sound during expiration. When you expired, your expiring air becomes go out with a sound and cough. Asthma is actually an allergic response to pollen, dust, smoke, fur, feathers, and number of other substances. It may obstruct the airways, making it difficult to work normally. Okay, so you can see that the two airways, a normal and an abnormal, which contain mucus in it, and also it is swollen, and also there is a written word here, the tighten. Your airways become tight so that it contracts more. That's why the patient suffer more asthma attack. Lung cancer. It is associated with smoking. Due to smoke or air pollution, abnormal cells appear in the lungs. In the right lung, you can see that a yellow mass. It basically shows the abnormal growth of cells appear in lungs, which may spread to other tissues. The major signs and symptoms are cough with blood, shortness of breath, repeated lung infections, weight loss, bone ache, hoarseness, weakness, fatigue. Lung cancer sometimes lead to the death, but the main percentage of death of respiratory disorder is from pneumonia. Pneumonia is the main lungs disorder which has a high fatal rate. So now move towards a new topic, which is gaseous exchange in plant. Plant exchange gases for the process of photosynthesis and respiration. In a diagram, you can see that diagram depicts two things, a daytime and a nighttime. During daytime, oxygen is giving out, carbon dioxide is given inside the plants, inside the leaves, but in daytime oxygen is giving in and carbon dioxide is giving out. So first we have a look on photosynthesis and respiration. We all know that photosynthesis is an anabolic process, means it is a synthetic process. Synthesis of food from simple inorganic substances requires light energy. That's why it occurs at daytime. It occurs in plant, uses carbon dioxide, releases oxygen gas, take place during daytime, and chlorophyll is required. Whereas On the other hand, we also have discussed about respiration, so that it is a catabolic process, means your food is catabolized, your food is oxidized, breaking down of food into inorganic substance by using oxygen during night time, which is depicts in this diagram. It does not require light energy. It occurs in all living organism. It uses oxygen gas, releases carbon dioxide gas, take place all the times, and chlorophyll is not required. So what are the respiratory organs of plants? So students, the respiratory organs of plants are called stomata. Singular we call as stoma, which means mouth, and it also look like a mouth. You can see that a diagram shows that it's something like a mouth. So the process of exchange of gases in plants take place mainly through minute openings called stomata present in leaves. You can't see without your eyes, that's why they call the minute opening. These are the microscopic. The roots and stem do exchange gases for respiration. Stomata are microscopic openings present in the epidermis of leaves. Epidermis, the lower surfaces of leaves. So through these openings, plant exchange gases with their environment. Each stoma is like a slit-like opening. In the right diagram, you can see that the stoma are elongated and make a slit-like structure formed by two spatial cells called guard cells. These are the guard cells. These two elongated and bean-shaped structures are guard cells. When they open, when they close, they make a slit. They are chlorophyll containing cells, and you can see that these diagrams are labeled as the chloroplast, also contain nucleus, a large vacuole, yellow colored, and a cell wall. So they are chlorophyll containing cells with thicker inner while thinner and elastic outer cells. The opening and closing of stomata depends on turgidity of the guard cells. Why the turgidity? During daytime they become more turgid, so they become bean shaped in structure and stoma open, while in night time they become elongated and closes the stoma. So here we have leaf intersect diagram. If you cut a leaf from middle of the leaf, you can find out this microscopic structure, which shows the upper epidermis, palisade, chlorophyll, spongy mesophyll, and lower epidermis. And also here you can see that the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide gets inside through stomata, and also the oxygen gets outside through stomata along with some water vapor. So during daytime, as a result of ongoing process of photosynthesis, the accumulation of photosynthetic solutes causes increase in turgidity of the guard cell. As I have told you, thus stomata are opened and the process of taking in of carbon dioxide and giving out of oxygen begins until it becomes dark. So students, here our chapter gaseous exchange from your book ended here, and now we will talk about your second chapter in your next lesson. Up to the we have entered this chapter here. Make sure you all answer the questions will be given in your homework and submit your homework at time. Allah Hafiz.